Pretty soon, CZALEO Knows It All. This is so cool, man. Thank you all for logging in and checking out our
Chris,
show, man.
You want to do a mic check? One last mic check, Chris?
You still,
Chris? Oh, hold on. Hold on. Maybe I got to put you up here. What about now?
Hey, can you guys hear me?
Yeah, there you go.
You go.
Cool.
You're
Okay.
on.
Can you hear me? Yeah, boom, there he came out. Yep. All right. Ahí vamos.
La Suprema.
Bang, 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 bang.
CZALEO in this motherfucking bitch. Inglewood, stand up.
Stand up.
25 seconds.
No dinero, me no hablo, no hoes, me no hablo. Just a special nigga doing special things, straight flavor.
What's cracking, everybody? Welcome. CZALEO Knows It All. CZALEO Knows It All. Welcome, episode 11. We back at it. We back at it like a jackrabbit doing our thing.
What?
Episode 11.
What?
Double digits once again. 1-1. That's right, your boy C's right here checking it out. Oh, let me show. There we go. All right, man. How you doing, Hank? How you feeling today?
Oh, man, you already know I'm feeling marvelous, man.
Marvelous.
Just another marvelous day, man.
All right, man. Me too, man.
That's
It's
right, man.
another beautiful day in sunny Southern California.
Woo!
That's right, boy. Your boy just had a birthday a little while
Episode
ago.
11!
Yeah, so we feeling good out
Birthday
here.
boy!
That's right, boy. I just celebrated a little while ago, so I'm feeling good. Thank you for everybody who reached out and
Taurus
showed me
season.
love. That's right, Taurus season, boy. That's right, boy. Me, Biggie Smalls, Malcolm X, dog. May.
Hey!
That's right, dog. No hate, man. All right, man. So thank
is
you all
up?
very much, dog. I'm just chilling, man. Feeling good. You know what? Actually, we got some new people sponsoring us today. Our new sponsor today. Oh, wait, where are those pictures at? Do I have those pictures? There we go. It's our YouTube page, La Suprema's YouTube page. Check us out on YouTube, man. Look up Suprema Supreme, 2 words, or look up La Suprema, 1 word. We got a bunch of YouTube videos up there. We got skits. We got music videos, man. We got interviews. We got our singles up there. So check it out, man. Let's check it out, man. And get us going, man. Thanks for the love, everybody. We truly appreciate you if you did that. All right. Welcome to the show. As you guys know, we're gonna have an extra half an hour, which is a big deal for us, man. We're happy about that. We actually have our guest today. We have our first guest of the new format.
Wait a minute, they gave you an extra half hour? Oh my God, what does that mean?
They fucked up.
What does that mean? Somebody up there likes
that
you.
means that the people want to hear.
The people want to hear what you have to
we
say.
got the ear of the streets over this.
What?
All right. All right. So we got a cool guy, Chris Pacheco. He's a mortgage specialist. He's a veterans advocate, and he's a bit of a conspiracy theorist too. So he likes to go down rabbit holes. So he's a cool cat, man. You probably seen him on a show called Tinfoil Hat. He came out there one time with Sam Tripoli, which is dope, man. Okay, so all right, man. So as always, man, we like to get right into the monologue of the day, right? The monologue is usually based around things that are going on in the world, right? The monologue of the day today, man, is what I want to play for you first is this, man. There's a video clip that actually is the one that kind of inspired this, right? And this is our new.
Acutely aware that my presence at this podium represents a few firsts. I am a Black, gay, immigrant woman, the first of all 3 of those to hold this position.
All right. No more firsts. One of the first things she went out of her way to tell everybody knows she's a Black, gay, immigrant woman. You know what? Who cares? Who cares? We're past the era of first, okay? The first this, the first that. It's already happened, okay? This era, if you think you're the first of anything, you're not. It's already happened. There's already been, Clarence Thomas. There's already been Condoleezza Rice. There's already been incredible Black folks in government, incredible Hispanic folks in NASA. There's Salvadoran people in NASA right now. There's everywhere. There's Indian Americans everywhere. There's people who are paralyzed everywhere. There's people who are gay, who are lesbian, who have accomplished many great things. The thing is that where does it end? Okay, where does it end? Where does it end? Where does this identity politics stop? Then it's gonna be on the first left-handed person with a big toe that has green hair that did this.
Well,
right?
I'm offended because I'm a left-handed person.
Oh, there you go, dog. You know, I can't
And the
wait.
world
yeah.
was not created for left-handed people.
You know what? When is that one gonna come up? Dog?
Well, I'll link that
Link the
coalition.
coalition, dog.
Yes, I will.
That's a giant. You know what, Hank?
My notebook should open the opposite way.
Yeah, dog.
So
That's
I don't
right, dog.
smear my
Hey.
hand as I'm writing.
Any sleazy lawyers out there, dog, the ones that make some money, so get the bag, dog. Hit me out. Hit me a handcuff. We got a case for you, dog.
That's right.
Right? The world is against left-handed people. Dog.
Wasn't
That's
created
true,
for
dog.
us.
You
We're
know
a
what I'm saying?
minority.
Exactly, dog.
And we get ridiculed a lot.
Because you're evil.
They say that left-handed people were
Sinister,
evil.
dog.
Yeah,
You know
they used to
what
tie
I'm
them.
saying?
They
Hey,
tie their
dog.
hand.
Hey, dog. Hey, dog. So yeah, man, it's just a race to the bottom, right? Everything is first, right? Everything is tokenism, right? Everything is I'm the first one that did this. I'm the first one that did that, and it also not only goes for not only the idea of first, but also like the idea of, like here's some real great for like Jackie Rouse. He was the first, right? Great for him, right? There's this new controversy right now, dog, where there's this new guy, a baseball controversy. I don't know who. I think somebody, one of the this black player, he had to call himself earlier in this interview, like he's like, oh, I'm the new Jackie Robinson or whatever, right? So then they're up there playing baseball, right? And then he's up there and they're talking stuff, they're talking smack to each other, right? He does something, right? And one of the pitchers like, okay, way to go, Jackie. Like, could that fool? But he just said Jackie, and then he's like, that's racist. Like, that's not racist, dog. He just called you Jackie Robinson, dog. That's not an insult, dog. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just like it's because I want to be the biggest victim, right? I want to be the biggest one, the biggest victim. Here goes another person, Harvey Milk, right? He was already a big. Right now, I bet you that's the next thing, right? There's gonna be somebody there's already been prominent gay politicians, right? There's a Barney Frank, right? The guy out of Massachusetts, right? There's already a lot of firsts of everything, right? So, but also the idea was it in sports, right? Like there's also like every year, every record breaks. Like it's disgusting, right? Like I feel like like the stats, dog, the last like 10, 15 years of NFL stats, they mean nothing.
Right.
They mean nothing. Like everybody every year breaks every record. Drew Brees made a career. He just didn't log around long enough. Right? Just like they just it's every the receiving record is broken. Every year, everybody breaks every record. They mean nothing. They change the rules, right? It's not even the same game, right? It's just I'm tired of it. And it's just like, where does it end? Every year we have to celebrate the new first this, the new first that, the most of this. Like the problem with our society is that everybody expects exponential growth. Like nothing in the universe, if you believe in the universe of science, nothing grows forever. Suns burn out, right? Even that's a problem with our stock market and with our society and our business a lot. Everybody expects to grow every year. Everybody expects 20% growth every year. Like at what point are we okay with stuff, right? Like, you know what I mean? All right. Oh, people are in the chats right there. We got people spoken. They want more season. That's right. We approved it. That's right. All right. Good stuff. So talking about how we got more time. All right. Good shit. Man.
Yeah, the office approved. The office, man. Everybody loves CZALEO. What is CZALEO doing on the airways? Right everybody here. Loves CZALEO, man.
Yeah, man. So, but yeah, man. So, I'm just bored with it more than anything, right? Like, besides being first, what do you contribute? Like, you know, we're all Americans. You know, we're never gonna get to being the same if we're all constantly want to be, you know, pointing it out for our differences, right? Right. Like, you know, at some point you have to not only assimilate, but just believe it yourself, right? That you're one of the people from here, right? Like, you know, the way I look at it, dog, is George Washington, Abraham Lincoln, apple pie, and me. I'm straight American, dog. That's right. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I'm Salvadoran, and I'm Guatemalan, and what, dog? You know what I'm saying? Like, all at once, dog. Like, that's mine. You know, people like to say my truth, dog. Like, and what, dog? You know what I'm saying? Like, embrace it. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, there is, you know, we should always celebrate accomplishment, right? But if we keep, you know, separating everybody and saying they're only special because they did it this way, then I feel like it cheapens it and it waters it down, dog. How you feel, Hank?
I believe that. Yeah, we're. I think on your first point was the records that we're constantly breaking. It's almost like that I don't know. It takes that away from what was originally done, you know. And again, people are going about things for different reasons, I guess. I don't know. There's a different target, I think. Yeah. You know, more of a self-target, more like a self-sufficient.
Or like it's not about the work anymore. It's about the record that you're gonna have, dog. Right. Like, even though, like let's say Floyd, I think you are a Floyd Mayweather fan, but I'm not, right? Like I feel like he chased the perfection instead of chasing the battles. You know what I'm saying? Like he was more worried about I'm gonna be perfect. That he didn't fight the big fights, right? Because it's like the same thing, like the same idea. He wants to have the perfect record, or like, you know, like I hate it when as soon as players start coming in, they're like, oh, I'm thinking about my image and my brand. Like, get the fuck out of here. Man. You have to work and do all the work first, and then you worry about like Kobe. You know what I'm saying? Like, you work first. Like, people come in thinking about that first. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, I want to be the greatest image, and I'm already thinking about, like, I don't want to hear none of that shit, dog. I want you to play your sport.
But then there's supporting parties that get into their brain and says and tell them yeah, and kind of take the hard work away from it and say, no, you don't got to do the hard work. You don't have to do that. We can just build you this way, right? And then the image takes over instead of doing the work. I think you nailed it when you say Kobe. I think Kobe will ever be that hard discipline, hard work makes things achievable. You know, he was a great he's a great bar to be. If you really, again, you know, I make this point. It's a lot of people say, yeah, you know, I want to do this, I want to do that, and my logic is always, okay, you want to do that. Well, are you doing it to the point that Kobe did his thing?
There you go.
Because
dog.
Then if not, then don't even get involved.
Then you're BSing.
You're BSing.
You're not working hard. Yeah, the Mamba mentality. All right, man. So that's the monologue of the day. We're gonna actually bring along our guest next, and we're gonna go into the news. All right, let me introduce our guest coming up right here. We're going to get him on here via our satellite network that we have a giant satellite on top of the roof right here. Worldwide network. This is my boy, Chris Pacheco right here. What's up, Chris? How you doing? Can we hear you?
What's up, man? Can you guys hear me good?
Yeah, we can, man. So Chris, like I said, he's a former Marine. He's a mortgage specialist.
Hoorah!
He's a veterans advocate, right? And he likes to question things that he sees around us, right?
That's the nice way to put it, right? The politically correct record. So I think, and hey, how about this for a first? I'm your first Salvadorian Marine USC grad, and you know, I deserve to have an award for that.
So. That's right, absolutely.
El first Salvador, el grado que dice, un gran soldado, mira, puchica. Ya matando a todo el mundo, lo hubiera visto. All right, man. So Chris gonna be along with the show, man. He's gonna go ahead and interject what he thinks about the stuff that we got going on, man. So we're gonna get into the news of the day. Cool. And then the first thing I want to talk about was like winds of change, right? Like I don't know if you guys know this. That's got my phone. But Bill Maher, he actually had a little monologue going against like what everybody's the trend these days, right? Can you hear this?
Which means if we follow this trajectory, we will all be gay in 2054.
So he actually put up a bar graph about how there's all these trends coming out, right? And then there's the new big trend. This new big poll came out with like you know, every year through generation, the people who are becoming gay are more and more, and pretty much by 2050 we're all going to be gay, right? So more than anything besides what I had to say, it's like I feel like there's a little bit of pushback. Family Guy also had a clip that I posted on my Instagram. CZALEO Knows It All on Instagram, where they talk about the woke people, right? Where he's like, oh, and then it is what you listen, all you woke idiots, and Martin Luther King will be rolling over in his grave if he had a chance to see you, right? So I feel like there's some pushback, man. I feel like the wokeization of the country is coming to an end, right? A little bit, right? I'm hoping so. Do you see it that way by any chance? Does anybody see kind of more people pushing back against the agendas that are out there?
Are you asking me, Caesar?
Yeah, Chris, do you see it?
I mean, I think Sam actually talked about this on his show, that, you know, I think definitely COVID kind of like made people question a lot of this stuff. I think wokeism has kind of been it's been like more prevalent even before COVID, and it was picking up steam fast, you know. And you know, once you're seeing the same people who are injecting us are also funding this wokeism, you know, and it's crazy how deep into Wall Street it is now. They have like a certain grade, like a social grade that you get for your corporations in Wall Street. So I think people are waking up to it, man. And I think cryptocurrency actually and blockchain actually exposed a lot of that for, you know, just kind of like that decentralization, you know.
Meaning that it's a good idea? Well, meaning that that crypto is something that revealed that we need crypto?
Oh,
100%. Independent, right, channels? Okay. No, I feel you, man. So it's I feel like there is a turning, man. So let's hope that keeps going that way. And then that was a good segue out to the next thing I was going to actually bring up was crypto itself, man. Luna, right? And crypto. So are you a crypto guy, man? Are you a big believer, Chris?
I'm. It's not that I'm not a believer. It's I don't know enough about it that I'm like all in. I've had a couple of clients that have made some serious gains on it. Me personally, I'm a long-term growth guy, and I know crypto people. I'm sure some crypto guys going to be on here arguing against me, but
Right. They're passionate about their positions. That's for sure.
yes, and hey, all power to you. You know, I might get into it a little bit more later. I actually had a client who had told me to get into Dogecoin, and I said, all right, you know what, this guy's done good for himself. So he made me, $5,000 like in a couple of days.
Oh,
But no,
nice.
to say I'm a crypto guy,
Well,
by no means, my friend.
okay, well, I feel like this one was specifically a big one, huh? This one, Luna, like a lot of people were into it, a lot of celebrities. And then I was seeing this whole thing, like it's almost like it crashed from one day to the next, man. Like it totally fell apart. Like the guy was real cocky. It almost felt like it was set up though. Like people were investigating it, like it was a hedge that really like this. Because the way it happened, it was like too perfect, dog. Like they got their weaknesses exactly. Like within like 48 hours, bro, they went from like being worth millions to being worth like $3, bro. So it's funny, man. So everybody watch out when like you said, man, when you're doing those stuff, man, just make sure you do your research, man.
And I think people have just succumbed to. I mean, any crypto coin or any advertiser or marketer of the coins using influencers. I mean, we were already a greedy country, and we want to make money without working with no effort. Yeah, so why not put in?
Sometimes like things that are too good to be true, All right, man. So we're gonna move on to another story that's going on, man. Real quick, did you guys hear about what happened in Dallas, man? About that trafficking case, man? That was seriously disturbing, man. There was this girl at the Dallas Mavericks game, man, and then long story short, they somebody they kidnapped her out of here, and then she went to the police, and they didn't help her because they thought there was like the laws like that she's a runaway. They found her in Oklahoma like 11 days later, man.
Like 11 people involved or something.
Yeah, man, terrible, dog. Wow. Like terrible. And
she went to the restroom, I believe.
Yeah, man. So game. Long story short, man, watch your kids, man. Like there's a lot of crazy people out there, man. Always watch your kids, man. And I guess the reason I want to bring it up because, man, I feel like stuff like that, dog, or even stuff like let's say those shooters, like if they were real, man, like there's only one solution, dog. If you ask your boy CZALEO, dog, that's capital punishment, dog. Like, let's 7:00 tonight on CBS, NBC, live on Twitter, dog. You know what I'm saying? Line them up. Bah! You know what I'm saying? Like, no mercy, dog. No mercy for stuff like that, dog. But we'll talk about that later, dog. All right. Another thing that's going on in the world, man, is the fentanyl crisis, man.
Damn.
I've been seeing lots of stories about that around, man, and that's something that's pretty serious, man. Yeah. I know a lot of people of all age demographics watch the show, and all kind of people that like to have a good time, man. So watch what's going on, man. There's a lot of reports out there about people not knowing that they're getting fentanyl, man, but it's in their stuff, man. I know that affects the veteran community, dog. Have you seen right?
Yeah, and it's crazy that you just brought this up. I was actually at a Congresswoman, Lisa Bartlett's a private event last Thursday down here in Laguna Niguel, and fentanyl is like a big thing that like she's trying to fight against. And some guy, he was like a former doctor. He's like retired now. Like he was just an attendee at the event. And he said that a fraction, like a tablespoon of fentanyl will like kill off all of Orange County. So it's just like, I'm like, what? I'm like, that's crazy, man. Yeah, I know I don't know enough about fentanyl, but I'm hearing it's like a massive, I know it's a problem in the veteran community. Yeah. I mean, opioids in general. Yeah. And I think this is like a cousin of like a way more dangerous opioid.
Wow. The dude from The Wire, man, the guy that died, remember the star of The Wire, Omar, man, that's what got him, man. Yeah. It's a lot of people going down, man. So just be careful out there, ladies and gentlemen, okay? We all like to have a good time, man, but be careful with your stuff. And hey, it's not cool to sell fentanyl. Friends don't sell friends fentanyl, man. You know what I'm saying? Like that's not cool in any way, man. All right, so moving on to something I wanted to get to, man, that's going on in the world that's going to affect us all. It all kind of connects, man. It's Davos, the World Economic Forum that's going on, right? There's supposedly new, what I like to call the money pox, which is really a grab for the bag, dog, right? So there's things going on in the world, man. There's people that meet, right? And then Davos and all these people, man, if you want to go down interesting rabbit holes, look into the World Economic Forum, man, and the things that they plan and the things that they have coming up. Right. It's pretty suspicious that all of a sudden they're all meeting and all of a sudden we have a new virus, right? They have a new thing. And one thing that's really scaring everybody is there's this thing going on where they said they're going to give up the sovereignty, right? That we're going to give up sovereignty to the WHO, right? Have you heard anything about that? Has that come across your plates, right? But like, they're going to vote to see because they use the health crises as, you know, as an excuse to give up. Has that come across your plate, Chris, by any chance?
No, I know the World Economic Forum's like, that's like the first grade chapter in the conspiracy world that
right.
Like,
that's what we're trying to do. Now people went to baby steps here. Dog. We're like ninjas, but we gotta let people, you know, they gotta crawl before they walk them through.
I'm not like politically like knowledgeable enough like to even like comment on like everything that they're doing, but in my simple head I put them up there with the, you know, World Health Organization, NATO, the United Nations. So
they're the first line of defense for the powers that be type of thing, right? Like
and I know there's been a lot of, I know Bill Gates is super involved with the World Economic Forum as well. But Soros, all these guys, but you could probably enlighten me a little bit more about this, man. Honestly.
Yeah, man. We're just some, you know, the same as like people that's where they get together. That's where they have all those plans about Agenda 2030, about you'll own nothing and you'll be happy, right? That's where they come up with these ideas. These people who, you know, they're smarter than you, right? They're better than you. They get together and they have ideas for the future, right? They don't live amongst the masses, but they have the plans for the masses, right? They're the ones trying to get us all linked up and addicted to sugar and, you know, with the supposedly, right? If you believe things like that, but there are important decisions made there, so you should look into that when you have a chance, man. So the last piece of news for the day that I was gonna go into was the meme of the day, man. I want to bring up the meme of the day. Where is this bad boy? And it kind of goes into everything that we talk about, right? It's this one. It's equality, equity, and equity in reality, right? I'm sure you guys have all seen the poster with this one, the first two, right? Equality, right? And then everybody in this woke world, we're always going for equity, right? But that means that in theory, right, it's like everybody kind of gets built up to be the same, right? But in reality, this is what happens, right? Is you saw down people who are above, right? And then everybody just loses. Then not nobody's up, right? Everybody's just down, right? Those are, I find that to be incredibly interesting, right? I feel like one of the problems with our society today is that we kind of like punish the winners, right? We always want to blame somebody else, right? We always want to, you know, blame somebody else. And I think that right now there's a lot of people who have, you know, beautiful ideas of socialism and all that stuff. And that's what it ends up being, right? When you can't make everybody, I'm trying to say this over and over again. Like the only way you make everybody the same is we can all equally be poor, not equally rich, right? That's never going to happen, right? We're not all, you know, there should be equality of opportunity, but not equality of outcome. So that's a meme that I found really interesting, man. So that's going to be the news of the day with your boy, CZALEO. Cienfuegos. All right, thank you very much. We're gonna move on before the commercial break. All right, how you feeling, big dog?
I'm great, man. I was. You should have just left me in backstage, dog. I was enjoying the show just my own. I was crap. Here comes Chris on here now.
Not even. All right, so we're gonna move right before the commercial break, man. There's something I wanted to bring up, dog. And it's my If I Ruled the World, right? I have a segment called If I Ruled the World. This is what I would change, man. Now, if I ruled the world, I would bring back beauty, okay? Beauty standards. This is my boy, Jordan Peterson. He got in trouble this week. Like he was talking about that girl, right? Have you guys heard about the girl that was on the cover of Sports Illustrated? That was her. So long story short, she's fine if you ask me, dog. Like she's all right. That was right down my plate. You know what I'm saying? Before I was married, of course. You know what I'm saying? But I feel like he did what messed up, right? He ended up saying like he put out a tweet that was saying that like no, this is not beautiful. She's not beautiful, no matter what they try to tell me, right? Because he fights against like, you know, like we always say, there's this messaging going on, right? The world's trying to make you believe that up is down and down is up, right? So I think he should have said that she's not healthy, right? Like, you know, that's Sports Illustrated. Like she looks good, but she's not like a Sports Illustrated. She's like she's not a fit model, right?
Jordan Peterson said that.
Yeah, so then he kind of got in trouble. Man. I feel like so then of course Twitter. He actually got off Twitter now. He kind of did a misstep, right? I felt like what he was trying to say, you know, you know, his overall message, I mean, she was unhealthy, right? But it's not just that. It's everywhere, right? It's not only women, it's architecture, right? You know, it's art. Every new building that comes up looks like this, right? All the new houses, we work in the mortgage industry, Chris. They look like prisons, right? All the new condos, right? They're not aesthetically pleasing, right? They don't make neighborhoods.
Affordable housing.
Yeah, it just it looks like a prison, just like the schools did, right? You go to modern art and it's like a piece of toilet. They're like, we're gonna have $14,000 for a big piece of shit, right? It'll be like a piece of shit with Donald Trump, and they're like, this is art. You know what I'm saying? Like, or modern art. Whenever you go in front of the buildings, they'll have some big giant piece of metal that's like what the fuck is that? Like, what is that, right? It's like the standard, like all them. This is feminism now. I got hair on my armpit. You know what I'm saying? Like, no, dog. You know what I'm saying? A few years ago, they did the Olympics. They did this one. This guy had a terrible idea. He did like no lighting. He had them looking all like raw, right? He didn't. You know how usually that you could do the whole Sports Illustrated spread, and you get the lighting and the makeup. He was like, no, we're gonna show the truth, right? Like, no, okay. Beauty is beauty, okay. It's not androgyny. It's it's Kathy Ireland. You know what I'm saying? That thickness. You know what I'm saying? Like, or not. You know, it's troublesome in that I feel like I'm being told what to think. You know, I'm being told 2 + 2 is 5. You know, and like you can't change what is beautiful, right? You can't, no matter how much you tell me, right? I'm not gonna buy it. You know, so and it's okay to have a standard, right? Like it's okay to, you know what, like products, dog. Like I'm not gonna buy a shirt from somebody who is fatter than me, dog. You know what I'm saying? Like I need for society to have me look up so I can have a higher standard.
A higher standard, right?
You know what I'm saying? Like we should, before to be a model, to be on the cover, it means you earned it. You looked good, right? You worked hard for it, dog. You know, so
there's something that comes with earning stuff, man.
Yeah, man. And it's like I feel like it's just overall there's like this cheapening, right? It's just like this is modern and it's like, like the great art of the past was like Da Vinci, dog, and like, they would take detailed time to draw art, right? And that's no longer the case, dog. Like stuff like this will be like $45 million. You know what I'm saying? Like this is art in the Google office. Like, what is that, dog? What do you think, Chris?
As you probably know, I'm not really intellectual about a lot of things, man. But I see stuff like that. I was at the Ritz-Carlton last Thursday as well, and they had when you walk in, they had like this art that was, and man, I was looking at the prices. It was like $300,000-$400,000. Nothing close to like what you would think $300,000-$400,000. So I don't know, man, but. Going back to Jordan Peterson, I'm disappointed. He said he kind of outlashed. I think he's smarter than that, man.
Yeah, it was like a mistake.
He's very.
My bad, but we're coming up on a break now, so it might be a hard cut. But yeah, man. Yeah.
No worries. I was just saying that I wish he kind of worded that a little bit.
Yeah, I feel like he missed that. He spoke too fast, dog, and he usually doesn't. He's usually very careful. You know what I'm saying?
Wow.
Yeah, man, but yeah, he did it. So now he decided to get off of Twitter for a while because they came after him, big time, man. I feel like he was trying to say you can't control me, man, but he ended up saying something he shouldn't, I guess. All right, man. So here's the break. Commercial. We're back in 3 minutes. Come back. Peace.
My rap game, you all up on it. Game, you all up on it. Got a thick woman, fat wallet, ballaholic, baller logic. Clean fading a fat pocket. Don't trust the fool that ain't jocking it. They ain't paid, they ain't watching. Now they teach you now.
Intuitive transformational practitioner. Go to www.coachzena.com or follow on Instagram, coach.askzena.
Yo, what's up? This is Rix.
Yo, this is Rennie.
What up? Dover in the building.
What's good, family? This is Jesse, and this is
Brown Wealth Radio. And make sure to catch us on TGN Latinx every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Pacific, to be specific.
Hey, Jackie, what's wrong?
I'm over here running around trying to tell everybody about the Podcast Pit.
What's the Podcast Pit?
I'm glad you asked. The Podcast Pit is an event where you will find some of your favorite podcasts performing in front of a live audience.
Will there be food and drinks there?
Of course there will be. It's at Joxer Dailies in Culver City. They have a full bar and a full menu.
Hey, I may need to tell people about this as well.
Yes, come with me. Let's tell them. The podcast pit is coming. The podcast
pit is coming. It's back, Jax. Have you heard? It's back.
Michael, what are you talking about? What's back?
The podcast pit. It is returning Monday, May 23rd. Brand new venue.
Oh my God, the podcast pit is back. Exciting. Where's it at?
It's going to be at Jax's Daily at 7:30 p.m.
I know where that's at. That's at 11168 Washington Boulevard in Culver City.
So, Jax, will I see you there?
Oh, you know it, baby.
Yo, this is Jay Slee from Hollywood Unlocked, and even though they extra as hell, check out Never Not Extra on TGN Network.
That's right.
Y'all gotta have notes, cue cards, teleprompter.
Girl, what you doing on Tuesday?
Girl, you know I'm gonna be listening to Never Not Extra.
Oh, word. What time they come on?
Girl, you know they come on at 8:30, but only on Pacific Standard Time. So 8:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time.
Okay, how do I listen now?
Only on the Good News Radio app, girl.
The Good News Radio app. Okay, I'm about to download that right now.
Go ahead and download that shit, girl, and get in the comments, girl.
Oh, you don't get in there.
Because you know Kirsten be crazy.
And Moni be spilling that tea.
Ooh, all right. See you on Tuesday, girl.
Hey everyone, it's the Primos Chidos. Hopefully you're enjoying this show, but if it sucks, be sure to check out our show, live Thursdays at 12.
Yeah, join me and my sister and basically my brother as we discuss everything from immigration to ejaculation.
If that sounds interesting, then we're the show for you.
Warning, the following podcast features discussion of sensitive topics, graphic content, and uncensored stupidity. Unless otherwise stated, the featured content is not discussed by professionals.
Are you single?
Then we're the show for
Shocking if they ain't hating, they ain't watching. 918, she is not an option. Bands go zoom and it's not a monster. Famous last name, you are not a monster. Trap me, nigga, you are not lobster. And no, my casa ain't your casa.
Let's go. Yeah, welcome back. Okay, welcome back, everybody. Welcome back to the show. Everybody listening on the radio, everybody watching on YouTube, on the app. We appreciate you guys. We appreciate the fire comments and everything coming in, man. Good stuff, man. Welcome back to the show, everybody listening. All right, cool. So we're gonna get into the next segment of the day, which is everybody's favorite, which is the great freaking movie. The great
fucking movie.
Yeah, all right, man. It's a great freaking movie. All right. So the great movie of the week this week is this one, Starship Troopers. Have you seen this movie, Chris?
No, I haven't. I've never seen it.
You never seen Starship Troopers, big dog?
No,
How about you, Hank? Hey, no, it's been a minute.
Yeah, man, it's been a minute.
Oh, so I'm gonna play you guys the trailer. I'm on the audio, and then I'll tell you guys about the movie. All right.
Woo-hoo!
But just listen to this trailer. You guys are military guys, man. You love this movie.
In every age, there is a cause worth fighting for. But in the future, the greatest threat to our survival will not be man at all. Hey, kid, what's going on? War! We're going to war! The youth of tomorrow must travel across the stars
Right.
to defend our world. We
All right, that's enough for now, man. So just to get you pumped up, so it's like a military movie, man. So let me tell you what makes this movie so great, dog. It actually has can you turn me up a little bit? I'm sorry, my bad. Let me turn that down. My bad. Okay. It has a crazy history, man. It actually it's originally a book. It's a book called Starship Troopers, man, and then that was the movie adaptation in the 90s, right?
Right.
But the book was actually, it used to be part of military. Like they used to be like in the 60s and 70s, you used to have to read it. Right, because what it really does, it's a lot of ideas about citizenship, right? It's a lot of ideas about propaganda and our modern state, right? In that movie, it's the future. And it's cool because it's not like, doesn't take place in the United States. It's like the kids, they're all from Buenos Aires, which is Buenos Aires.
Okay.
Right, but it's like the future, right? And in the future, we go to war with this alien planet that's just full of bugs. They're just bugs. They're just like giant spiders and giant like arachnids and like gross, right? And it makes it easy because they're like dehumanizes the enemy, right? Which is something that happens in war. Right, like in war, you guys have to be like, they're a bunch of, you have to make them like less than human to justify yourself, right?
Right.
So it touches all that. And then one thing that I really love, dog, is that it touches on the idea of earning citizenship, right? Like Johnny Rico, he's a rich kid. He's a rich kid that goes to this dope high school. He plays like this weird game of high school football, like in the future, right? And then But in that society, if you're rich, you could buy your way in, or you could earn it through military, right? And he had this dope ass teacher that inspired him, and he was like, he wanted, and his dad was like, nah, dog, we got the money for you. You're gonna go to Princeton, shut the fuck up, right? But he's like, he rebels and he joins the military, right? Without his parents knowing, and he really does it because he's chasing this girl, right? Which is a big part of the movie too. This temptress, this devil woman, right? This is that they play with our emotions, dog. But so then he ends up joining the military, dog, and when he's there, the Iraq, like, and it's funny, dog, because the propaganda is like, this was in the 90s, bro, but it could apply to now because all the news is like super propaganda, and it's like, do you want to know more, right? It's like, it goes to these little clips of the future news, and it's like, the bugs are attacking us, and it has all these fucking funny things, right? So he ends up, when he's there, he goes to boot camp, and he actually gets himself kicked out. And right when he's getting kicked out, though, the bugs end up attacking his hometown, Buenos Aires, and they blow it up. Like, Buenos Aires no longer exists. Oh, so then he ends up going into it, and then he fucking moves up in the thing, and it's just fucking epic, right? But it's the idea that, like, you have to earn citizen. So in that society, that's the only way you became a citizen. That was one way. You can earn it through military, through honor, right? Which is, I feel that's something that might not be such a bad idea for our society today, man. Because I feel like everybody's kind of like, gets everything, right? So then another point that I want to touch on with this movie is the girl again, right? Let me bring her up, right? Like, and it sucks, right? Because this fool gets into all this because of her. And at that age, man, like, we've all been that way. And especially I feel like Hispanic young men, right? Like, let's be honest, bro. Like, we all kind of know this. We all grow up kind of like, we go to church and we're like, oh, we want to be good men and shit, right? And there's always some woman that just freaking breaks your heart and teaches you to be a cold-hearted motherfucker, right? Like, and that's what she is, right? She's like this. Like, you ever heard the idea of hypergamy, right? Like, the idea is like there's idea that like women, the thing women, dog, is women wait at the finish line and fuck the winners and shit. Have you ever heard that? She ends up going with this fool. He ended up, you know who this fool is? He's like he's the guy that was in he was also in Saved by the Bell. He was the guy that took away Kelly from Zach. So he's the same ass. He played the asshole too. He's like this cooler military guy, and he takes her. She ends up. It's like that classic military thing, right? You guys all say in the military, right? Eventually, everybody gets that letter from the girlfriend back home. She's that. She goes off to the officer school, and he's like a grunt. He's like a grunt in the military, right? He's like a Marine. So she's over there with the fancy foods, and she leaves them for some fancy food, right? So it's all that. It's all of that involved too, right? And then there's also this. It was funny that the character Diz in the movie, she's like, she really loves him. She follows him to the military, right? He used to be like best friends with her. He's always like playing her to the side, and finally like, but then it's all fucked up what happens to her, right? But what's funny is that her character in the book was actually a boy, was his best friend, but they changed it in the movie to make it different. Sellable. So yeah, man. Have you guys seen that movie? No, you said you never saw it.
Never seen it. Now you got me interested though. You saw
right, man. Yeah, man.
I feel like I saw like parts of it, maybe not the whole way through.
And what's really cool is like the graphics in it too, man. It's like it's great science fiction. Are you into science fiction? Or are any of you guys into sci-fi?
No, man. Honestly, this
is for nerds.
This is like in the same. No, like never been a Star Trek guy. Never been a Star Wars guy.
Star Wars, yeah. Meaning, well, you know what? This is one that like me neither, right? This is a man's one, dog. This is like a dope, macho, fucking kick ass. Like at the end of it, you'll be like, hell yeah, I want to fucking join the fucking villain. Because at the end, it's like the whole movie's like a commercial too. It's like it's really just interesting, dog. Yeah, the propaganda in it itself is just like genius, man. If you like books like 1984, like it's a great study in propaganda, right, and getting people on board, right. And like I told you, it's like the whole military tool, and then the history of it. It's actually a book that's part of, I think it's part of like the American Library of Congress, like 100 books or whatever, right? It's if you get a chance, ladies and gentlemen, check it out. I highly recommend it. Starship Troopers. All right, excuse me.
I remember they had like a theme song that was pretty popular too.
Yeah, man. Fucking movie. Yeah, all right, man. All right, man. So we're gonna move on, man. Next, we're gonna move on to one of to everybody's favorite part, right? And I think Chris's favorite part, the rabbit hole. Are you ready to go down the hole of conspiracy with me? All right, man. So you know what? I actually got somebody saying that last week's rabbit hole was kind of boring. Last week we kind of kept it. We didn't go conspiracy, Big Dog Chris. We actually kept it we just said World War II. Like World War II is, just interesting, right? I kind of went into all the little stuff. You ever, get into World War II, Chris? Are you like a military?
I think I was just talking to you. I just saw like one of the best documentaries I ever seen. It was 6.5 hours long.
Wow. Called, that's right. You were telling me, man.
Adolf Hitler, the greatest story never told.
That's some dangerous stuff, dog.
That is
You will literally finish that documentary and say "Hail Hitler," bro, because that's how deep.
Damn.
That's how deep it is, man. But
Gee,
anyway,
damn, man. Okay, tight, man. So, okay, you like that kind of stuff. Well, today we're gonna get one that like we said right here, like we're trying to get people into the world of conspiracy baby steps, big dog. Like I know that this is probably gonna be boring to you because you a conspiracy ninja, right? But it's 9/11, right? We all remember 9/11, right? You know, marked in American history. We all remember where we were that day. I remember where I was. You remember where you were? Hank?
Yeah, I do remember where I was.
Okay. I remember, you know, I was in the dorms, man, living the college life. I remember that I thought first thing that came to mind, because that's how I was having the time of my life, dog. Like just feeling fun, dog. My time of my life, man. And I was like, oh, it's over now. We're all going to the army, dog. That's it, dog. I thought we were all gonna it was gonna be World War III, man. But yeah, man, it's a very interesting rabbit hole because there's a lot of questions to be asked, a lot of players that played in this whole event, right? I think where people first start off, right, is so the narrative is what, right? The official narrative is that those guys from Saudi Arabia, 15 people hijacked the things, right? And they all ran them.
I think it was 19
of them, right? And they all, they passed every check, no problem. And they got on 4 different planes and they left it 4 different ways, right? Two hit the towers, one hit that field, and the other one hit the Pentagon, right?
Right.
So right there, a lot of the questions start, right? Where like the Pentagon one, right? Like if a plane hit the Pentagon, there was like no pieces of the plane left, right? There's like no video of the plane ever hitting. Like if you've seen the plane, it shouldn't disintegrate. It shouldn't turn into, if a plane crashes, it doesn't vaporize.
Right.
There should be scraps, right? The same thing in Pennsylvania, right? The other one is with the buildings, right? With the metal and the buildings, right? Like there's some videos out there, bro. Like
how they fell.
How they fell. Like they show how like the plane, like they show the second one, the plane goes through, right? They show the nose of the plane goes in one end, and then on the other end it's still a nose.
Yeah.
Like if that's a real crash, dog, how could there be 2 noses of how could it be intact? It's like if a plane is gonna crash, by the time it come out the other side, it's gonna be all fucked up.
Right.
But it's like perfect. You know what I'm saying? It's like
and they blocked that like scene with like the banners that the TV stations would put. Yeah.
Yeah. Like they were all in on it, dog. There's all kind of people who originally said something, and then they were never seen again, right? Or people who had different takes who like mysteriously died, like a year later, right? Like a year later they died, right? Like for cancer, like the way everybody who messes with the Clintons dies. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, happened to get in a car accident. You know what I'm saying? Happened to suicide yourself, right? That's part of it, right? There's been a whole other documentaries that prove that metal can, like, the way that the buildings fall, right? The pancake theory, right? That they all the way that if they fall like the way the detonated ones are, right? We've all seen the detonated buildings, right? When it's professionally done in Vegas, it's exactly the same way, right? There's videos where they show like there's explosions beforehand, and you can see them coming out the side.
Oh,
right? Like they already had the implosions, right? There's videos of people saying that they remember the whole week before there was all kind of people doing all kind of stuff on the towers, right? All kind of people walking around and putting tape and all kind of stuff everywhere. Like all of a sudden you couldn't go places, right?
Oh wow!
Like people that there was something going on, right?
I don't remember that, but yeah.
Or the building, the towers, right? Why did the other towers fall? Tower 7, right? The towers that didn't get hit with a plane, all the towers around there, they also happened to fall down, right? And they also happened to fall down in a perfect stack. You know what I'm saying? Has anybody, questioned these things, right? Am I the only one? I feel that that's something that opened up. There's different things that get people going, right? Like a lot of people open their eyes with COVID, right? A lot of people open their eyes with Trump. A lot of people open their eyes with 9/11, right? 9/11 is one of the first things that got a lot of people thinking like, hey man, what's going on? Right. And then everybody pretty much thought that
and everything that followed 9/11, right?
Yeah. Oh, that's the most important thing because we're still feeling those repercussions today.
Absolutely.
Right? At the end of the day, like there's a lot of theories and stuff, right? What I really think it comes down to is the Patriot Act,
Patriot Act,
which is really the invasion of privacy, which is what we're into now too with all the tech and all that. The idea of being able of we're no longer private. Like there's always a cause, and like COVID too, the same thing. Like now it's gonna be because there's a virus, we can own everything you say, we can own everything you think, right? We have a right to know everything you do at all times, right? Feel me on that, anybody? Chris?
No, what do you think? What do you think?
What do you guys think? No,
I caught myself laughing at myself right now because my face got all serious when he started talking about 9/11, bro. I was like thinking of all these books and
it goes a lot, dog. I know
documentaries, dog. I mean, Hey, if you're a first time like listener in this, I mean, they could just DM me. I'll send them like 5 great documentaries that'll just drop. I think the one that comes to mind, I don't know if you guys have seen this one, The Project for the New American Century.
Wow,
So it literally shows when, like, basically every single war that has gotten started, like I think it starts even in the Revolutionary War, how it's all been basically false flagged.
Yes.
And basically like Gulf of Tonkin for the Vietnam War, Pearl
100%.
Harbor,
Talking about that, big dog.
Franz Ferdinand getting or what's his name, that cat that got
You know what's I made that same mistake last week. Franz Ferdinand is a band, bro. It's
Ferdinand. Yeah.
Same thing last week, dog.
And getting killed in World War I. But I think
Charlie's in the chats. What's up, big dog? I'll go for it.
The crazy thing was on that Project for New American Century was like they had this conference in 1999, like ironically in New York. And I saw that photo of Cheney you put up there. I mean, he was the CEO of the company that still gets the biggest government contracts, multi-billion-dollar contracts. He was the CEO of the company.
Yeah, happy
to be of Halliburton. You know,
right. Correct.
Long story short, it's crazy. There's this part in the movie that they show across the street, like all the contractors living tax-free. And by the way, all these companies started their headquarters in Baghdad once we had that war. Tax-free money, right?
Right.
Living like kings. And across the street is the Marines and all the Army soldiers. Bro, Halliburton literally had the contract to basically filter their water. And dude, Marines, veterans, bro, who knows how many have died from just drinking contaminated water, but several failed tests. But basically the nexus of that was that 9/11 was the Pearl Harbor of the modern age to send us into war. And the amount of
Iraq, like Iraq had nothing to do with it.
It was just connectivity, and the amount of bases and the amount of infiltration that we've done around the world since 2001 has been insane.
That's right. Great, dog. Yeah, man. Yeah, so there's more than enough reasons, right? Like they always say, follow the money, man. The Bushes and the Saudis, they were like best friends. Like the Saudis and like the Bin Ladens and them, they're all people. They're all oil people, right? It's incredibly interesting, right? Like you said, Halliburton was a big part of it, right? The diseases that happen to the soldiers, right? Because another thing is like pharmacies, right? That's another reason. War is another reason for just people to get paid. Like I told you, people here, like I live in the South Bay, we're around here, we're Northrop Grumman, SpaceX and all that. They don't make satellites, dog. They make missiles, homie. Okay, that's what they do all day long. People who get blown up, they're like, oh, I got blown up. They look at the scraps and it says right there, SpaceX. They're like, oh, I got blown up by Elon Musk. Thank you very much. You know what I'm saying? It's all big business, dog. So September 11th,
big business.
Rest in peace to the people. There's even there's even the way that there's if you really go down the rabbit holes, even like the people who, we saw flying out the windows, they say it's like physically, like a lot of them, they're like 100 yards away from the window. How could they have launched themselves and gotten so far from the window? Unless something launched them or oh man, it just, it was such a tragic day. It's a day that's unforgettable, right? In the American memory. But, it's also, we have to stop evil when we see it, man. And then I think there was a lot of stuff behind it and they haven't told us all the truth. So when you have time, go down that rabbit hole. You'll enjoy it, ladies and gentlemen. All right. Thank you, guys. All right. Oh, even like the owner of the building, he took out an insurance policy. You heard that, right? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
I did hear that.
You know what? There's one thing I want to play, man. There's one thing before we go there. Even this, did you guys see what Bush did, dog? He had that Freudian slip recently, dog. He actually said it. Look,
totally unjustified and brutal invasion of Iraq. I mean, of Ukraine. Iraq. Anyway.
You see that?
That's crazy.
He even said, we did that. He was talking about what he did to Iraq. He was like, I mean, Ukraine, Iraq too. See, motherfucker, people say the truth, dog. Se le sale, dude. Se le sale, dog. The truth comes out, dog. We had no reason to go to Iraq. It was, it was great. And then even that, at least to Libya and Gaddafi, we took them out, dog. It's all deep stuff, dog. It all connects, man.
Gaddafi didn't want to play ball, man.
So do your own research, like I always say, ladies and gentlemen. Go down that rabbit hole. You'll enjoy it, man. All right, we're going to move on, big dog. We're going to move on to something that I think my boy Chris here is going to enjoy, man. This is a segment that we like to call Things Your Dad should have taught you, man. Okay, things that your dad should have taught you, man. Because some of us grew up without that.
Right now, but I'm not. What I'm doing is I'm trying to teach you how to be responsible. It's like your little friends across the street. They don't have anybody to show them how to do that. They don't. You're gonna see how they end up too.
All right, man. So this one, man, is gonna be kind of quick, man, but it's important, man. Your dad should have taught you, man, things that are very is to go out like a man. Okay, there's a couple of stories, man, in the news right now. Where are these gentlemen, man? And one that happened a while ago that always stick with me, man. And whenever I think about it, it's really, I think that us as men, we can only be so lucky, man. Oh, man, where are the pictures? I cannot find it. Where are they? 1 second here, guys. I'm sorry. Here we go. Here's one of them. The gentleman from the Buffalo shooter, right? His name is Aaron Salter Jr. There's another kid called Kendrick Castillo and another guy named Tate Meyer, right? These are all people, especially the last two I said, the Castillo kid and Meyer, man, they were high school boys. They're high school boys who attacked the shooters and died. Oof. They went out like men, like men. You know what I'm saying? Right. We should all be so lucky to have the honor to go out that way with that honor, It takes special people. You guys know you guys are soldiers to be able to hear gunfire and to run to it. Oh, man, excuse me. I'm getting choked up, man. When I think about that young man, it makes me sad, It also makes me sad because I know it's like those kids, two of them, they were football players, and there's like an attack on masculinity and on football and all that stuff, and it's always like, those are the people who run towards the bullets. You know what I mean? So, excuse me. Feel free to take over, Chris.
No, I don't know if you saw there was another shooting down by where I'm at in Laguna Niguel as well at a church.
Yeah, correct. That's right.
Like I don't know how far apart the shootings were, man, but it sent a chill down my back because I just think of like all the because Buffalo was at a church, right? As well.
Yeah, that was.
Yeah, so man, it sent a chill down my back.
A convenience store,
at a supermarket. This guy, dude, he shot the guy in the chest 6 times, but the fool had mad Kevlar.
Oh,
you know what I'm saying?
Man, it's just like I'm never. Anyone can walk into a church, man, and it's scary to think, man.
You should run. You should. Honestly, dude, if the thing you should do is you should run, dog. So people who don't, man, respect. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's mad respect, man. I didn't know that. Well, thanks for sharing that, man.
There's it makes me think, dog. So the other thing, so now we're getting something a little less serious. All right, real quick, this came out recently. No fruity drinks. Okay, sometimes some of us don't grow up. We grow up in the hood. You go out for the first time, you start drinking Long Island iced teas. You start you're like, oh, you don't know. Let me tell you, because you might have got a party in Cancun with your sister and your mom and all that. Nah, dog. If you don't have a dad, bro, let me tell you. Can you turn me up a little bit? No fruity drinks. It's not allowed. It's guy code in America, and especially if you go to business, businessmen, you cannot drink anything fruity. Okay, your drink, that's cool. Your drink must taste like gasoline. Okay, the grosser the drink, then the more manlier you are. It's never acceptable. Okay, I'm telling you, I'm looking out for you. Don't go to a business dinner and end up cranberry vodka, dog. They'll laugh at you. Okay, I'm not telling you this is right. I'm not telling you it's fair. Those fruity drinks taste great. Yes, they taste delicious. Maybe on vacation, vacation margarita. On Cancun, acceptable. I've had watermelon, on vacation. But like out here, dog, in the streets, you can't. If you didn't know that, no fruity drinks allowed at any time.
Whiskey, huh?
It's just guy code, right? Am I right, gentlemen?
Whiskey.
Hell yeah, I'm a whiskey guy.
Neat.
You know what I'm saying? Neat, homie. All right, man. So that's things your daddy should have taught you for the week. All right,
now. You may think I'm being hard on you.
Like I said, we actually have more. After this, we're gonna have one more segment, then a commercial break. So we're gonna go into the overall lowering of standards. Chris is a segment where I kind of, I see what's going on in society, something that catches my eye about just I feel like there's an overall lowering of standards going on and a decay that bothers me, right? That I see that I must comment on, right? And I'm gonna talk about KFC. It's going to be lower than the props and Popeyes. We're going to do a contrast. KFC, when I was growing up, it was like America's chicken. KFC was actually my first job, my first real job. Well, I had like a job in a warehouse, but my first real job was in KFC in West LA, which is closed down.
Colonel?
The Colonel, dog.
Finger licking
it
good.
used to be like the bucket of chicken. It was like a thing. Your family would get the bucket. It was like a thing, right? Like everybody
Crispy?
would get it, right? But dude, you crispy original, it was delicious. It was something, right?
Amazing.
It was a worldwide thing, right? Did you guys know, like, even in Japan, KFC is a big part of Christmas? Like, it's a whole thing. Like, KFC is like when you go to, it's like Christmas. It's like one of the traditions. Like you have to get your KFC for Christmas in Japan. It's weird.
Yeah.
They did some marketing thing that was genius. There's a documentary about it. It's wonderful. So, but their quality, dog, like. They went from being like, and I feel like this is when it happened. I remember when they did the merger, when they became like Pizza Hut, Taco Bell, KFC, Pepsi. That's when they went to shit.
That's right.
You know, it's like, it's just not the same. You don't get the buckets anymore, right? You go and you get the 2 pieces, but it's just like you get the breast. You can tell it's like so much hormone. It's like the breast is so freaking, it's gross. Like, I don't want the breast shouldn't be this big, dog.
Right.
Like, do I want a big piece? Yes, but this is gross, dog. You know what I'm saying? And what's amazing, dog, is the come up of Popeyes, dog. In the meantime. When I was growing up, Popeyes was the ghetto.
Right.
Popeyes was like churches.
Right?
That's what I say that. The brand of Popeyes, it's amazing what it's done. It's a worldwide brand now. I saw this video, dude. It was so freaking awesome, dog, about they were opening up this Popeyes in Britain, in London.
Wow.
And then people were like out the line. And then they had this whole video beforehand of black folks from London trying Popeyes for the first time, right? And it was like, because then they talk all in British, which is awesome. They're like, oh, it's a wonderful, like, you know what I'm saying? But they were like black folks, but they were like, oh, it's tastes like the South. Like, it was South for like America. Like, that's right, baby, USA. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was, but Popeyes has come up, you know. They were even the whole chicken sandwich craze, right? Popeyes was a part of it with Chick-fil-A. KFC was nowhere to be seen. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's a great American brand that is just going downhill fast.
Right.
I don't see it improving anytime soon. They have something there that tastes when every now and then y'all go, and it's like every 1 out of 4 times I'll have a delicious piece of chicken. The other time it's the only thing around, right? You know what I'm saying? Like every now and then they get it right. You know what I'm saying? But it's just not the same, you know. And it's have you ever heard the story? Like Colonel Sanders, he was an interesting guy. He shot somebody. He was a wild food.
He had the recipe.
Yeah, dog, but he was a wild. That was like his business. He hit success late in life. He was like a wild man. He had all these businesses. He ended up selling but he ended up being like the spokesman, and he made money at the end, right? But just an interesting character, right? Which I feel like what's one thing great about history and American history is like just the characters, like even the presidents, right? Like the people who are in charge, they're just interesting people. And then everything comes down to people. You know what I'm saying? So
no, I agree.
So yeah, dog, that's the lowering of expectations. KFC. What do you guys think, dog?
No,
you guys
I think that the moment, I think you touched on it. I think all those restaurants that merged together, Pizza Hut, Taco Bell, KFC. I think that
there's like a lesson.
And then even KFC, like it wasn't KFC, it was called
Kentucky Fried Chicken.
Right.
That's
and then
right.
and then they loosened it to
that's
KFC,
right.
right?
Even
So
that, bro.
I think that when that whole change, and then remember there was some wild stories that they were creating lab, chickens.
I did hear that.
It was super plastic.
I heard that there was KFC because they couldn't call it chicken.
Yeah, they couldn't call it chicken anymore. That's right.
Is that true? Does anybody know if that's true? Let us know
in the comments. Everybody watching, and shout out to everybody who's watching us right now. Thank you. So I'm not sure if it was that. What do you think, Chris?
Popeyes is bomb, dog. Hey, talk about fruity drinks. They got the lemonade, frozen lemonade. Popeyes.
That's bomb. It doesn't have alcohol in it, so it's totally acceptable.
And I feel like eating Popeyes in the hood is actually like even tastes better more.
It is.
I know one right there off Figueroa and King.
Oh, hell yeah.
I know
exactly. Hell yeah. And with the biscuits too, dog. Them biscuits. Bro, you can't. The thing about the biscuits though is like if you eat 2 without a drink, you'll die. You'll choke. It expands. It like goes, it expands. You know what I'm saying? It's like it's so dry, but it's so delicious, dog. You know, Popeyes has just come up, dude. It's amazing. Props to them, and not props to KFC, man. The brand has gone down, and it's a shame. Okay, we're coming up on the commercial break. We'll be back in 3 minutes. Everybody, for the last half hour, thank you. Be right back.
Hey, I'll be right back, gents. Give me 1 minute.
What's up? It's your girl Gina Views. Make sure you are tuned in to Ladies Night every Friday at 7:30.
Hey everybody, this is Mala Munoz, creator and host of Mighty Juanera, a podcast for potheads. Make sure that you tune in to Ladies Night Radio at TGN Latinx.
Hey, what's up, y'all? It's your girl, Mysterious Jax from Ladies Night Radio Show. That's right, the entertaining, fun show with cheeseman, hot topics, and just all girl talk. This show is for the ladies, so make sure you catch it every Friday at 7:30 with me and my ladies, only on TGN Latinx.
Hey, Jackie, what's wrong?
I'm over here running around trying to tell everybody about the Podcast Pit.
What's the Podcast Pit?
I'm glad you asked. The Podcast Pit is an event where you will find some of your favorite podcasts performing in front of a live audience.
Will there be food and drinks there?
Of course there will be. It's at Joxer Dailies in Culver City. They have a full bar and a full menu.
Hey, I may need to tell people about this as well.
Yes, come with me. Let's tell them. The Podcast Pit's coming. The Podcast Pit.
What's up, ladies and gentlemen? This is Alex Himes from Courtside Radio. We love to have
Hard drugs, I don't kill that pussy.
6:30 p.m. right here on the Good News Radio Network. Don't forget to tune in every week, people. We'll see you then.
Only on TGN Sports. Hey, what's up, business owners? Are you looking to take your business a step forward? Are you looking for more people to know what you have to offer? You are in luck. The Good News Radio has a special deal for you right now. You can get a commercial slot 4 times a day, every day for a month. If you are interested, email contact@tgnradio.net for more information.
It's Keith Good News here, telling and reminding y'all to make sure you listen to Top of the Morning every Monday and Wednesday to get your morning started off right. 9 a.m. on TGN Talk. Don't miss it. Don't be late. It's for the above average only.
Hey everyone, it's the Primos Chidos. Hopefully you're enjoying this show, but if it sucks, be sure to check out our show, live Thursdays at 12.
Yeah, join me and my sister and basically my brother as we discuss everything from immigration to ejaculation.
If that sounds interesting, then we're the show for you.
Fat pocket, don't trust the fools that ain't jocking. If they ain't hating, they ain't watching. Not 18, she is not an option. Bitch goes home and is not a monster. Famous last name, you are not a monster. Crappy nigga, you are not lobster. And no, my casa ain't your casa. On the coat, gin and tonic. 2 more drinks, she out upon it. That's right, boy. Your boy CZALEO on the ones and twos right here. Welcome back for our third half hour, our extra half hour. Our show is growing, man. Thank you for the love and for the outcry for more time. All right, man. So we're actually gonna try some new segments today. We're gonna try out some new stuff. We're gonna see how it goes. All right, Big Chris. So bear with us right quick. All right, this is we're in uncharted territory right now, man. We're like the man who supposedly went
Shout
to
out
the
to
moon.
Drago Beast who just joined us right now.
Drago Beast, what's happening, big dog? All right, man. So
Popeyes, he said Popeyes.
all day, man. That's right, my boy Matthew giving them fire signs. All right, man. Love you guys, man. All right, man. So we're gonna get into a new one, man, which I'm gonna like to call. What was this?
I just want to acknowledge that they extended CZALEO Knows It All. Somebody's finding this.
Somebody
man.
likes us. All right,
Somebody
man.
likes us, man. So I want to just shout out.
Thanks, Mom. All right, man. So look, here we go. All right, here we go. California Dreaming. This is called Hollywood Tales. This is a new segment called Hollywood Tales because I feel people don't understand this town. Los Angeles and Hollywood is a special place. It's a crossroads of the world where all kind of people come for all kind of reasons, right? And they come for one reason and then they end up getting into other things. So I'm gonna talk about things that happen in this town, right? Sometimes it's gonna be celebrity related. Sometimes it's just people who are here, just things that I find interesting that might not be national stories, but I find them to be interesting, man. So I'm going to get into a lady named Stephanie Lazarus. Okay, you might have heard this. She was kind of a famous, right? She was a LAPD lady. That's her. That's how she looked in trial, man. She was so she was a hardcore LA cop, right? She was think of 1970s Los Angeles, right? Think of like Three's Company. You know, everybody's in roller skates. It's all good, right? She was the epitome of don't ever nothing worse than a woman scoring, right? So she was a up and coming. She went to UCLA. This guy named Rasmussen, I believe, he went to UCLA.
They were like a couple. They were like fuck buddies, right? Let's be honest, right? So she one day thought it was more, right? And then he ended up finding some other girl, right, who was really the love, who he really wanted to be with, right? She throws that fool a party one day, and at the party, that fool like, "Yeah, I have a lady," and shit. Like, back then it wasn't like Twitter and all that shit. Now you couldn't control everybody all the time, right? So she didn't like it, man. She didn't like it. She ended up she would harass the girl, right? She would harass the other wife, and then long story short, she became a cop. She graduates college and she becomes a cop. That other fool goes into some other shit, right? So then one day the wife of the guy, he goes to work and she gets murdered. The wife of the boyfriend gets murdered.
The other chick.
The other chick, right? She passes away, and there's a giant mystery, right? And it goes into like LAPD and like the blue wall, right? Because there was actually the girl had complained to her parents about that. There's a lady cop who harasses me. She had bothered her. I found her at work and went to she showed up one day with looking all sexy to drop off something and hey, you forgot this at my house, She was making her life tough. So then when the thing happened, there was of course, right, the being kind of racist that they were back in the days, there was a string of burglaries and they blamed it on 2 black guys, right, that had supposedly robbed them, right? So the case closed, right? They move on, but the parents insisted that no, man, there's something else. Does anybody look into this? But they were all like, no, she's a cop. It's impossible, right? They covered it up. So long story short, 20 years passed and there's the cold case files and shit, right? The LAPD. And then they start going into it, right? They start going into the whole case. They start looking into it. And in the meantime, this lady, dude, she moved up. She was major in the LAPD, bro. She was arts and theft, which is the highest crime division, right? Like arts and high theft, robbery, homicide. It's one of the biggest. You have to be a super detective, right? And then she married some other fool who was a big giant cop, a big time fool, dog. So, long story short, man, because of DNA evidence, right? They catch it. They start eliminating all the other people, right? All the other ex-girlfriends of hers, right? And they bring it back up, but they have to do it super secret. They have to be because she's part of the LAPD and she could have friends in the DNA department, So everything is super low key, man. But then it's crazy. The video when they could out with her, she was a big time person, dog. Like a major. You guys are in the military. Imagine a corporate general major fool, dog. You know what I'm saying? Big fool, right? So they actually lured her to the LAPD downtown. They're like, oh, we have some art guys who are gonna confess. So they bring her in, and then boom, they flip it on her, dog. And the video is just it's super interesting, dog. Because you see her she's a cop. She's been on the other side a million times. You know what I'm saying?
Oh wow.
So the way she plays the game, dog, she's like, well, no, well maybe I knew him. Boom, 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 dog. So, long story short, man, they found out it was her, man. She had a bite mark. She left a bite mark on the girl. Oh, so they dug her up in the whole, and it was sucks, man. And the husband, he kind of had moved on, and he kind of he got with her again one time years later. Oh, after them, But he did call the cops to make sure that she didn't have nothing to do with it, to get it clear. And the cops at the time, they weren't doing the job. They were like, nah. But he ended up. So I imagine what kind of guilt that guy lives with, right? I always think about those kind of situations. Wow, what kind of feelings does that guy go through? But yeah, just an interesting case. She ended up getting caught, dude. She ended up she found guilty. She murdered her. Right? She murdered that young lady, dude. Wow. It also opens up the thing that all her cases she did, I'm like, she's a big ass fucking liar. You know what I'm saying? Right. Maybe all these other cases are questioned, right? So wow. Just interesting stuff, man. That's one of those tales that happens here in this town, right? Hollywood tales of people in California. It's not all sunshine, like I always tell people, man. It's a lot of weird things that happen here, man. And then just be careful. Also, young man, this is a show for men, man. Be careful, man, where you spread your seed, man, or the promises you make. You know what I mean? Because people are crazy out here, dog. Men and women, dog. So it goes for everybody, man. Those things are always unfortunate, man. Like those love triangles and stuff, right? Yeah. What you guys think?
I agree. It sucks.
That's a crazy story, man. Yeah. LAPD. I grew up in Chino. And my neighbor is he just retired. He was one of the highest sergeants there. He worked in the air division. So I've always been intrigued by LAPD in general. But man, that's a one for the record books right there, man.
Yeah, man. Yeah, if you can look it up, there were stories on it. I think that there's a good amount of
man, that's crazy, man.
Coverage, man. But yeah, because it's big time. And then it was years later, she thought she got away with it. She has kids, she started a whole new life. It's and now she's in jail, dog. You know, like
that's crazy.
You know, but it's also like justice for the family, man. That poor, you know, there was a family that was that guy's first wife, you know, died tragic. Imagine coming home, man, and you know he came home to her, like you know,
right. She was
like right there, she was dead, man.
Crazy.
So sad stuff, man. To rest in peace to the family of Miss Rasmussen who passed away. But interesting story if you ever want to get into it. Hollywood Tales. Come back next week for another Hollywood tale of things that happen here in the Southland. All right, man. So now we're gonna move into our next segment because now we're planning to have guests. All right, and Chris is our first guest. We're actually gonna have a segment that I like to call "Now, homie, what you all about?" A lot of stuff. We want to know what you all about, homie. All right, we're gonna ask some questions to get to know our guest today, to see where he stands, what he's all about, right? To kind of you know, see what's up. All right, are you ready for this, Chris Pacheco?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Are you ready to be highly embarrassed? All right, let me see where you stand. Right? Okay, yes or no? Did we land on the moon?
No.
No. Ooh, tied. I like it. All right, taking hard stances. Why? Why you say that?
I think that we would have been on the moon. It's very hard for me to believe that we landed in 1969 and we haven't been there since. And I don't know if you've seen that clip of the NASA guy saying, somebody asked, how come we haven't been to the moon? He said they destroyed the technology.
Right?
They don't have
What bullshit is that, dog?
I'm like, how do you destroy that? Like, that's got to be in the records. Like,
come on, dog.
Like,
right?
Come on, dog. They got
especially if they would have wrote it down on paper. Right?
Yeah,
they would have had it on paper, right?
And all the astronauts, like they're every time there's no consistency in all the astronauts. So no.
Tight, man. All right. Hank's looking at us like, I don't know about you commies. All right. Are you if you had a choice, egg McMuffin or an egg McMuffin biscuit, or the biscuit at McDonald's?
Egg McMuffin or egg McMuffin biscuit?
Or the biscuit.
I don't know. I don't even know what that looks like, dog. Like an egg McMuffin.
Right, you a healthy guy. That's right. You know what? My Chris Pacheco is a kick your ass.
I'm a fat ass. I'm a fat ass. If you throw it up on the screen, I'll let me choose.
Oh man, well, it's the bread. Are you an English muffin guy or a biscuit guy?
English
muffin. Like, let's say when you're at a restaurant, they say, what kind of bread you want? You want the cheese toast? You want the muffin? You want the biscuit? You want the white
rye,
toast? You want the wheat toast?
I like sourdough and rye.
I like sourdough.
A man with class.
Yeah,
a man with class.
Hot sourdough.
Okay, tight. Okay, and where you from, dog? Where'd you grow up?
I grew up in Chino in the IE 909.
909. What was that like, man?
Yeah,
next to the Ball Brothers.
Into the Ball Brothers? I'm a big fan. That was kind of crazy. They came out of Chino Hills.
Right.
And a lot of people get confused when I say Chino. They're like, oh, Chino Hills, you used to live there. I was like, nah, dog, on the other side of the prison. Chino.
Wow. Okay.
But then ended up in the OC, 20 years old. Long story, basically, but my mom basically had enough with me. And that's how I ended up in Santa Ana. And that's where I got recruited out of.
Recruited all to the military. So you went to the military right out of high school.
No. I was a Cal Poly Pomona dropout / kickout. And I went there. Unfortunately, my dad passed away when I was a senior in high school. And I had all this crazy freedom that I never thought I'd have. I was like, what? Because I went to private school and then the recession hit. And went from privilege to broke, with our family. And, so I was always used to a very strict environment. And I was like, first day at Cal Poly, I was like, what do you mean we don't have to come to class? What do you mean they just give you beers and you party? Like, I never saw any of that. So I felt like I had to catch up. And then after my sophomore year, I had a 0.7 GPA, bro. A 0.7. So my mom said, gotta cut him loose. So that's how I ended up in Santa Ana, 20 years old, man.
That's nuts, big dog. Interesting story, dog. Interesting stuff.
Yes, sir.
Were you cool in high school or were you a loser?
I would say I was more on the popular side. I played sports, I had good grades.
What sports?
I played soccer, football and track. And it was kind of weird. So I grew up in Chino, right?
Right.
And so all the neighborhood kids went to Chino High. I was the only one that went to the Christian school. It's called Ontario Christian.
Okay.
And like my junior year, that's when like the economy hit hard, and my parents were in the mortgage business too.
Right.
So they were forced to send me out to Chino High. So I had like this weird thing where like my friends changed, but all of a sudden I was like a super popular guy. And dude, Chino High, if anybody from here is watching, it's like Choloville, USA, dog.
Really? Right.
Hell
Okay.
yeah,
Cholo,
dog.
straight up. Oh,
Hell yeah, dog.
right. Keeping it hood over there.
So it was kind of cool. I had an interesting background, man, growing up, man. But it was cool, man. I'm happy it all happened.
Last week we had a thing, or I think 2 weeks ago I always have this thing about your daddy. I was like, one thing about your daddy should have taught you is that in Southern Cali you can get your ass whooped anywhere. Like, don't like I said, cheat. Like there's real fools everywhere, right?
Yeah.
Don't think because there's like nice grass. Don't think that there's nice houses here. Everybody's pussy. Nah, dog. You'll get your ass knocked out anywhere.
I saw some private school fights, man.
Yeah. The fools in private school they get down. Don't think that some fools in private school they're not. They'll knock your ass out too. That's one thing I always tell people. Yeah, don't get it twisted out here, dog. All right, a couple of more questions, dog. Have you ever been in a fight?
Yes. I can't remember the last fight I've been in, like a fist fight.
Yeah.
Because in the Marine Corps, we used to just throw the gloves on.
That's right.
But dudes would go all out, dog. Like dudes that had mad beef. So I can't remember that. I think there was a couple scuffles in football, like in high school, but fist fight, dog, not really, man. And I don't really see a lot of fights going down anymore, honestly, dog.
Yeah, that's changed.
A lot of passive aggressiveness. A lot of
as per my last email. What's up?
Yeah. Yes. Correct.
I got a question for you, Chris. You were in the service. And you were saying you moved around and growing up. What led you to the service? What led you to, and then particularly, what led you to the Marine Corps?
I always said this. I always start off with this, right? The Marine Corps and all military has the best marketing for anyone who's struggling. Free food, free rent. I was fucking gone, dog. I was out, bro. So little background, right? So I started going to Santa Ana College, right? And I was like becoming a firefighter. I thought I was gonna be this like goody two shoes, like getting sober and all this stuff. And when I went to my first job like application at Long Beach Fire, bro. That line was I was early, and that line was out the door with how many applicants there were. Right?
Yeah.
I literally talked to my friend Akeisha Reed, who I'm friends with to this day, a female Marine veteran, and she basically is like, "Dude, you should just join the Marine Corps. Like, you're enough. You're in good shape. You'll get paid to do it. Like, just join, dude." And that was kind of what led it. And I was the easiest recruit. They didn't have to brainwash me. I kind of brainwashed myself, dog.
You drank the Kool-Aid? Did you drink the Kool-Aid?
I was all about it, man.
That's right.
I love the Marine Corps.
Hoorah.
That's sick, man. Okay, a couple of last quick ones I'm gonna get in here. If you got to start life, your same exact life all over, right? But you get 3 upgrades to yourself. What 3 things would you upgrade?
Nice.
You talking about like character wise, or you talking about
like I wish I had brown eyes? I wish I had a fucking 12-inch finger. You know what I'm saying?
Man, probably.
What'd you do?
Probably some height, dude. Probably some height.
3 upgrades.
My height, probably my 5'7". Being 5'7", it's not giving a lot of command presence when I walk in the room.
It's true that every guy who I know is short is always like. There's no one who I know is short who's like, "I love you, short." They're always like, "Man, I wish I was taller."
Yeah, man. What else? I probably would have loved to. I'm really into meditation now, so I probably would have liked to like start that like earlier on in life, like mindfulness. I'm completely okay. So I'm 5 years sober drinking.
Wow.
I wish, and I'm not looking for a cheap applause, but I wish I didn't drink. I wish I just wouldn't have ever drank. And I know that's going to be
nice. All right, man.
controversial, dog.
Wow.
But there was a lot of pendejadas that happened. in
Really?
between
You're one of
all
those guys? You're one of those guys? Did you become like another person? Like nobody?
Oh yeah, 100%. Like I was, I was in and out of AA. I got in trouble in the Marine Corps, like for alcohol related incidents. But what really did it for me is when I saw one of our best Marines get a DUI, and he was supposed to receive an award like the next day, dog. Hey, homeboy Hank knows. He knows all about this. They called us. We were already on liberty, like gone.
Oh, man.
They called everybody back
Yeah.
to Camp Pendleton to just literally tell us that there was a DUI that happened, and everybody had to stay in the barracks. So that was like and punishment's very public in the Marine Corps. So that's what I was like. You know what? I do not want to be that guy, and that's what kind of led to my sobriety. Haven't touched it since.
They will shame you.
Crazy, man.
They will shame you.
They will shame you. They will make sure that you understand that you're being shamed.
Yeah, 100%.
Cold-blooded, man.
Well,
And
man,
you know what's funny? Well, when it comes to the, you think that's you know what's funny? Because I'm like a Salvi thing. I feel like, to be honest, I feel like Salvadoran it's not like a drinking culture. It's not really like the way Mexican culture is a drinking culture. You know what I'm saying? Like or German is a drinking culture. I feel like with Salvi is like you drink or you fucking drink too much too. Like there's a lot of people that when they get sloppy with it. I don't know. I don't know if that's just me, right? Like
yeah,
I feel like
I think it's extreme.
There's
right?
like a lot of there's very few in betweeners. Like Salvi's either don't drink or they're fucking sloppy.
I think Salvi just being Salvi is just you're always on one level. You either go all the way or you don't go.
Yeah, I was always like they either have the shit together or they're desastres totales. Like, los hombres they're like that, dog. I don't know. It's a funny thing, dog. All right, dog. So those are the questions for my boy Chris Pacheco. Thank you for coming through, big dog. Thank you for answering the questions. You survived the questions and answer round. All right, big dog. So now we're actually gonna get into something. Hold on, let me clear. The last couple of minutes, man. I'm actually gonna use this time to kind of recap and miscellaneous, right? Maybe recap some of the stuff that we talked about today. Is there stuff that we missed, man? Is there something that we wanted to maybe bring back up? Is there something that you wanted to add that maybe we forgot? Correct. I was gonna do that correction and retraction. That thing you brought up earlier. How last week I called the guy Franz Ferdinand. Exactly, the Archduke of Ferdinand.
I walked out to go to the restroom right now. My homie was giving us like, I hear you talking about Franz Ferdinand.
It's so funny that you said it. I'm like, oh, you made me legit. I'm like, it's not just me and shit. You know what I'm saying? Which is tight, man. Yeah, man. But is there anything that we, maybe talking about the stuff that going out like a man, right? Or the Hollywood tale, or the Rabbit Hole, right? September 11th. What else do we have today? We talked about Starship Troopers, which I think is a great movie, man. One of the guys in that movie is Gary Busey's son. Gary Busey's son. He has like the same face as him almost, man. He's a funny guy, man. But that's a great movie. Anything that we want to recap, guys? Anything on your mind lingering?
Man, this is, I gotta say, man, I'm quite the podcast
aficionado.
I guess there was another word I was trying to bring up. I can't think of it. I'm very impressed with how you set this whole thing up. I didn't know what to really, man. No, I'm not, and I'm not trying to kiss no ass, but man,
no, not at all.
I learned a lot from this, man. Like, you gotta be on. Hey, I'm gonna tell Sam to put you on tinfoil, dog. Cause
that'll be like my drink or truth, dog. I made it.
No, dude, this was legit, man. Like, I can't believe I got a shit ton of work after this. Piling up. My phone's been blowing up, but I feel like even more awake and motivated, dog. This has been awesome, man.
Oh, that's tight, man. That's a really nice thing for you to say, big dog.
Yeah, man.
That's really dope, man. No, we like it, man. And then we got anybody, if you have a chance, man, if you like the whole conspiracy world, like I said, Tinfoil Hat is like one of the biggest ones. This comedian called Sam Tripoli, this guy called XG. What's the other guy's name? Johnny Woodard. They're cool, man. They're like, they bring up conspiracies, man. They go deep into it. They have good guests and stuff. It's a great show. And then it opens up that there's like other people who connect they're like part of like the comedian world of people and stuff. So, how did you connect with them? How did you get that?
Dude, I honestly wanted to have a show with him about like just like as a comedy show for veterans, like in the I'm super connected like down here in Orange County as far as like veteran organizations. So I wanted to have a show, and we were on the phone just going crazy over like military industrial complex, 9/11.
Yeah,
and he's like, you know what? He goes, you know what? He's like, I'm gonna bring you on my show. And it was like it was tight, dog. I did it with one of my homeboys from USC. He's also a Marine, and he's like the COO of the Disabled American Veterans. So he gave a lot of our show was 22 veterans a day. So that's basically what we talked about. But man, the outpour after that, man, like how many people hit me up. I got a couple deals out of it, VA loans out of it. So I was like,
nice, man. That's great.
This is badass, man.
Well,
I got put on it. But this show I like the format of your show, though, C's. Like,
thank you, man.
This is awesome, dog. And it flowed so well. It wasn't awkward at all, dog.
Right. You know what? Yeah, I feel like I'm trying to jab you. I'm trying to get them to think, right? Because we can get on something and we'll go deep into it, right? But I feel like there's so much info. Like I feel like you, like when I told you September 11th stuff, right? Like you were like, where do I even start? It's like I don't even.
There's so much.
Like it's like such a big ass thing to unpack, right? So what I want to do is get people to just because I think that people do think about it or do question it, but nobody says it out loud, right? I also think the information
there's also a lot of information hitting us, right? So you might stumble on something like, I'm gonna look into that, and then something else blindsides you, and you kind of forget. So I don't know.
This is like a great introductory show to just start thinking about some stuff, man.
Yeah,
because shit, man, it might have not been my Tim Osman, Osama bin Laden's been at the White House thing that did it for somebody. It might have been your KFC thing, dog. Like, damn, why did they go from Kentucky Fried Chicken to KFC, dog? There's so
like
I
little things
think,
like that, dog.
Yeah, the fruity drinks too, bro.
Straight up, that's the man shit, man.
I'm gonna walk downtown San Clemente and see how many fools are drinking fruity drinks, dog. I'm sure it's more common than you think, dog. So.
Something similar that I remember when I was coaching football. I coached football at Alamo, South LA for a few years, which is a school right, is a charter school right there, kind of by Washington, right? And it was like hood kids, right? And it was five brothers. One guy I coached with, he was like, man, we're out here changing lives because it was like we had this kid that we were playing, right? But a lot of the kids that were raised by their moms, right? We had this one kid who was raised by his mom and 3 sisters, dog, right? So we're at the practice. He does a good play, he tackles, he gets up, and he starts switching. He gets up, he's like, woo, the way he starts walking like a woman. Coach was like, hell no. He's like, hell no. Don't you ever walk like that again in your life, dog. He's like, what you doing right now? He's like, why'd you know how to do? He's like, I'm like, damn, hey, we're out here changing lives, dog. We're out here saving young men, dog. You know what I'm saying? Those are the kind of lessons that the young man needed.
It's needed, man.
So,
it's needed.
Hell yeah, man.
Sick,
True
man.
story,
All right,
man.
guys, we're coming up on the last 2 minutes. Well, thank you. Like Chris, check him out, Chris Pacheco. He's a mortgage specialist, VA specialist. If you guys have anybody look into that,
Chris,
you'll find him on my page too. I also do more. I do homes and stuff too. We'd be happy to help out folks.
If you want to say your handles, Chris, you want to say your handles?
Yeah, it's the Chris Pacheco. And it's Chris with no H. It's just CRIS. My full name's Cristobal, but yeah, at the Chris Pacheco on Instagram. You can Google my name and you'll see my stuff. But yeah, VA loans, a lot of self-employed borrowers as well. But I try to focus down and into my specialties instead of just being like a jack of all trades. But
awesome, man.
But yeah,
all
man,
right.
I appreciate you guys bringing me on, man. This has been so sick, dog. I'm very appreciative.
Oh, man. Likewise, dog. Thank you for taking the time, man. We know you're a busy guy, man. Keep up the good work. Tell your friends, everybody out there. Thank you guys real quick. I'm going to squeeze in some showing love real quick to everybody out there graduating. Everybody out there graduating out of something, man. Congratulations to you. I know you're out there working hard. Hopefully you don't have useless majors. Hopefully you major in something that you can use like business, right? If you didn't, if you have some kind of useless major, then, hopefully you'll find somebody attractive to marry. Or rich. Also, shout out to my boy Choco. Choco, he does beats. He's a local beat maker. Choco Studios, Firehouse Studios, man. They do dope stuff over there. Big shout out to Choco. He's been doing it for a lot of years. He's an OG out here in LA. If you do hip hop, you know about my boy Choco. All right, man. That's it. See you all next week. Your boy CZALEO. Keep your head in the swivel for all these bad ideas. Peace out.
2 more drinks, all up on it. Up and down my dick, hydraulics. I don't kill that pussy, I demolish. People spend 1 up the mileage. Breakfast in bed, 12 mileage. Side